Thank you so much, first of all, for your time. Just want to ask you a few questions about some of your fighters today. Maybe let's start with George Davey. What did you think of his performance today?
Brilliant performance. I think now what's happened with George is making that he's got. I think he's 26-year-old now. He's found his feet. You can see it coming along. It's coming now. I think with boxing you've got to be very patient. You've got to be very patient. Everybody wants something too soon. Boxing doesn't do that. I don't think any sport does that. You've got to be very patient. You've got to trust what's happening. And George is a great advocate for that because he trusts it, trusts the process, as we say. And yeah, it's coming now. The power's coming. George has always been a lovely boxer, but just lacking that little bit of power. Now, it's coming through. He's had to work, and he's worked hard for it, and he's had to be patient. I think things like that now are working for him, and I think in future you'll see that he'll beat a lot of people he's not supposed to.
Do you think he's got the tools to go all the way in boxing?
Yeah, I've always said it. And if he keeps on the level that he is, on the climb that he is, because even sometimes you don't always have to win to be getting ahead of yourself. Sometimes you can lose and still be winning. That makes sense. And a lot of people don't understand that, but that's where George is. He's just getting progressively better, and it moves so slowly, just progression. But then eventually, you add all them little moves up, it adds up to a lot. George is coming along nicely, and I think within the next 12 months, I think he'll give everybody the toughest fight of their life. He's really good. He's exceptionally good, is George.
I remember obviously his fight with Joshua Frankham on TNT Sport. It was a very, very close fight. I think he got fight of the night back then. Do you think it was good though that perhaps they didn't get the win, so it allowed him to go back to the gym and start again, regroup a little bit?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It doesn't matter because Josh is a class fighter. We know that anyway. Josh is a class kid. Two class fighters, George and Josh. And no harm. But I think they both come out, regardless of the result. They both come out because they both battled against each other. And it was tough. It was a big occasion. It was very warm in there that night. And none of them come out losers, if that makes sense. George lost the contest and Josh is a good fighter. And George is a good fighter. So nobody lost ground. I think in anything, they helped each other gain ground. And I think you will see them two in the future boxing everybody else and getting wins over a lot of people because they're class fighters.
Jack as well. What do you make of his? I think he's 5-0 now in the professional game. What do you make of his progress so far?
Jack's coming on nicely. He's doing really well. He's only a baby, so I'm just going to move him just according. I'm not going to rush him. I think he's got 12 fights. Ideally, before he starts stepping himself up, he's only a baby, and I say that I know he's 21, but he's still a baby 21. That makes sense. He's coming on nicely though, Jack. He's got a lot going on as Jack. He's a puncher. He's very tough. He's got an engine to burn, but just for now, he's just young. I've got to guide him just in the right direction and protect him more than other people will say. Get him in. He's good enough. He's good enough, but I don't want to push him too soon. Yeah.
Also a word on Denzel because looked quite good at that. His opponent, a tough opponent today. But what did you make of his performance today and how he's progressing?
Good. Denzel's been out the ring for a long time, and I think that showed today. But his performance shows that. I mean, God, does he punch? He punches. I mean, you could hear the shot from the back of the room. Yeah, he punches. But obviously his timing was a little bit out, and his opponent is a tough kid anyway. He's an absolute credit to the sport. He really is a battle hardened, and he fights for everything. But young Denzel, he's going to go places. I think within the next 12 months out, you would look somebody like him to be a champion.
How much are you loving work as a coach and manager at the moment? Because I can see it. Boxing lives in you, doesn't it? It doesn't leave you, does it?
No, it never leaves. It never leaves, does it? I think you can disguise that you hate it sometimes, and I'll put a good act on. But we love what we do. We wouldn't spend hours in the gym and the hours up and down the road doing what we did for what we didn't get if we didn't love the sport. Because everybody thinks that there's flashing lights and there's millions of pounds available. It's not there. So these young guys, they're on the way up. We don't do it for the money. If you'd done it for the money, it'd be It wouldn't be really. You wouldn't show the love. You've got to love boxing, and I've loved boxing because I've done a little bit, and I've always loved it, and I love passing on now a little bit of knowledge that I've picked up. I never stop learning. You always learn. You have to learn about people and how different people accept different things. So none of them know. We've just got to find a way of learning how to learn them. Yeah.
Just like a last question from me. I'm just wondering, what do you think of the state of boxing at the moment? How would you compare it to when you were a fighter?
Oh, it's difficult to compare, but there's nothing wrong with boxing. I just think you've got to have more quality people in the game. Keep as we are. There's nothing wrong. I mean, British boxing right now, we're on a high. Yeah, we can contest with the world's best, the majority of weights, and I think we're up there with them. I think boxing's in a good place right now. I think if you watch Sky, you can watch Sky Boxing or whichever channel, BBC, ITV Channel 5. Watch boxing most nights, or most weekends anyway, definitely. We're on a high, and we challenge you for world titles against the best in the world. And I think it's on a platform of the best it's ever been, I would say.